Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be doing a little video on how to hit or how to improve your overall box CC. I've done a few of these, but I hit another big milestone, 6.5 million box CC, so I was like, alright, I'll do another one because people wanted to know. And I'm also going to be doing how to improve your overall team CC. When you do this, you set your team, how you get higher overall CC. So since this kind of ties in with the whole team CC, I'll go into it. So obviously these starters, you want to level 80 at least your units, awaken them to 6-star, and then you probably want to get a decent association that's also at least level 80, and then awaken it to 6-star. And then obviously there's the super awakening aspect of it and whatnot. So yeah, basically I would just focus on one main PvP team because that is what you need to max out on all the SAs and level 90. There's not much PvE content that requires you to level 90 and SA 5 every single unit on the team. Like maybe just your damage dealer usually, or maybe just one support unit. And you don't ever really have to level 80 or level 90 SA 5 your sublink units unless you want to go for max high team CC. Because when I do this auto, this is my auto team CC. Granted, a lot of my units don't even have gear on them, so that's why some of these characters here. But 277,000 CC without any food. I don't have any food on. So as you can see, pretty high CC. So what I would recommend you guys to do is obviously do that. And then there's equipment. So if you want to have a lot of equipment or high CC, you need to have HP defense gear. That is how you are going to maximize the amount of CC your team has. I would give one unit only attack defense / attack crit. That way, you should only really have one damage dealer anyways. Teams with 2 damage dealers will usually always get out CC'd and then just get absolutely bodied. So yeah, I highly recommend getting at least like 13-14% on all of your rolls. If you're a free-to-play or don't play that much, I highly suggest you are gearing the top and bottom 2 pieces. Those are the 2 that give you the most amount of CC. Defense is nice, but it does not help in the long term. Also, why do I not have this piece on? As you can see, I made a mistake when I first UR geared Escanor, and so I have an extra piece of UR gear now. So yeah, make sure to never do that. But yeah, I usually run either HP defense or HP crit on my Escanors. So in PvP, in PvE, I will run attack crit because there hardly anything can kill Escanor anyways. And then maxing cosmetics. Having all UR cosmetics is absolutely important because it gives you the base 200 or 180 defense. Once you max it, it gives you an extra 30 defense. Same for the attack pieces. It's the same like base stat. The substats matter a little bit, but it's only like 1 or 2 CC extra apparently, so it doesn't really matter. Just go for ones that give you more overall damage, or I just went for the ones that I already had maxed. I truthfully couldn't care about remaxing anything. But crit chance, usually pretty good. Crit damage, pretty good. Pierce rate used to be the meta, but now it's just not really that needed since Goddess Liz Shield nullifies all pierce rate basically, so that's why I don't do it. And then HP, this is the one that you want to get the most, and this is the one that they never give you because it gives you the most amount of CC, and that's what everybody wants. So yeah, I'd recommend at least URing all your HP cosmetics because it gives you 1650 extra HP per cosmetic. As you can see right here, you can get 5 registered cosmetics for your cosmetic, your weapon, and your outfits. I get an extra 8,250 HP, extra 20% recovery rate, an extra 4% lifesteal, which is literally nothing. Escanor has horrible lifesteal, and then an extra 9% regen rate. So it does help out in the long term, but basically the main thing for like leveling up your overall team CC is level 90ing, SA5ing, and maxing out equipment. Ultimate moves do count. Basically everything in the game that is additional besides level 80 and then fully 6-star, it just basically gives you an extra 2,000 CC. SA5 from 4 to 5 gives you about 2,000 CC. Level 80 to 90 gives you about 2,000 CC. Costumes, I believe, give you about 2,000 to 3,000 depending on the unit. It's weird, but it does vary a little bit. And then ultimate moves will give you an extra 2000 CC because you obviously would already have him 1/6 if you already have the unit. So it would be 2400 in total, but every ult level is an extra 400 CC. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the ungeared. Pretty much, like, yeah, obviously I went over the gear, but also you also obviously want to max out sublinks, obviously. But yeah, it's basically just SA5ing, level 90ing, and getting cosmetics to improve your overall team CC. Obviously, there's a thing like this, the Fate Links, I believe they are, with the combined attacks. It gives you an extra 1000 CC, but not that many units actually even have that, really. Like, the only one I can really think of that's even in the meta, quote-unquote, would be Green Tank Diane, which gets slaughtered by the Bond now, so not really a true counter. Green Merlin, the ult rush one, she has a Fate Link with Arthur, I believe, and then there is Gother with a Fate Link with King. So I would, if you want to max out those units, get those Fate Links up, I would highly suggest doing it. Also, King's like just a good unit in general because it increases basic stats by 1% per ultimate move level. So the more ultimate move level, the more stats you get. So it does help. It really does add up over time, especially since literally every unit on here is 6 out of 6. So keep that in mind. Okay, so now we're going to go into how to upgrade your box. So the first thing that comes in my mind is get as many units as possible. Literally, just get as many units as possible, level 50 them. It gives you a base CC of probably like 15,000 if I had to guess. She's not max awakened. She also, just in case you guys don't know, uniques give you an extra 400 CC per unique active, so it will add up over time because there's about 150 characters approximately. I'll just say 100, so if you add up 400, that's 40,000 CC right there, so definitely helps. But yeah, just getting a bunch of units and just leveling them up to their minimum level. Like rares would be like level 30, SRs level 40, and then SSRs to level 50. Because I know not everyone has pendants, so you can't just level 60 UR them like how I did quite a while ago. But you should at least be able to level 50 of them. So the reason I'm bringing up account combat class as well is because of this. If you get to 4 million combat class, you increase your hero's HP by 12%. Which does add up over time, especially in Knighthood boss. You really need that. So, because apparently I did not know this, but in Knighthood boss and final boss, your max HP accounts into your points. So like the more HP your units are able to have, the more points you can get. So that's why when you're like struggling, like, oh, why can't I get this much score even though I did the exact same thing as you? If you don't have the same HP, you're not going to get the same score. I did not know that up until recently when the new final boss Hendrickson dropped on JP. So yeah, there's that. And then there's also doing this quick little thing. So on some of the units, this is probably a bad example because it's probably the wrong unit, but some units have weapons that you can find at the pop-up shop. Yeah, I can't find one. Looks pretty cool, I guess. But the pop-up shops around the all the villages, you can go there, buy them for gold or gems if you really want to do that, which I don't really recommend unless it's a busted unit like Jericho or like King or something. Like it's a unit you'll actually use. It does add up over time since there's probably like 50 plus cosmetics you could get just from the pop-up shops. There's quite a few. Especially for like SR Meliodas and Captain Meliodas, there are quite a few of those. Another thing, obviously, 6-starring your entire box, like the yellow stars, making sure you get all of those leveled up. It adds up probably a few thousand CC. I'm not quite sure because I've never really looked at it. I should, but I just don't. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't know the exact amount of CC you get. So yeah, leveling up units, number one thing, or I guess getting a lot of units, leveling them up, and then 6-starring them is probably the main thing that you really want to do. And then next would come URing them all to level 60, 70, and then 80. Like just slowly go down the line, go like, okay, so you only have the top row, so you have the top row, and then you start down at units that you really like, UR 60 of them. And then once you get through the entire box, UR 65 of them, 70, and then just keep going down like that. I have a few guides on how to grind all of these materials as well. I have not needed to grind them for quite a while. as you can see, if I go here, I have a lot of these chests with a bunch of the awakening materials in them. Like I don't need them at all. And this is from Dairy Area. I know that some people are gonna ask. This is from the Blue Dairy Valentine cosmetic. You get a random cosmetic drop, which does help, which is probably the only reason I even went for her. So yeah. And then the next big thing besides UR gearing them, or not UR gearing, geez, that'd be insane. URing them is their gear. You need to put gear on every single unit, whether it be SR, rare, any of that. Just +5 all of the gear on all the characters. I know it's a lot. It will add up. It's going to take a lot of resources and time, but at least until you get that 4 million box CC, just keep going. Once you hit 4 million, like, you don't have to like stop, but you don't need to keep pushing as hard, because they will add in 5 million box CC HP increase eventually, I could only assume. But right now, I don't see it coming anytime soon. Simply because JP doesn't have it, and we're a month behind them. So if JP don't have it, we probably won't be getting it for at least another few months. Unfortunately, I would love to get it, but then, you know, it would just be a bigger advantage for the whales and whatnot. So it's quite unfortunate. And probably the next thing I would say that like actually helps you get a bunch of CC is what I do on some of the units. What I do is I go through and I awaken the bottom ones. It's the HP rolls because it gives you the most amount of CC. You can just do rare gear as well, guys, because it's easier to fully UR or fully level up. So that way you can not use as much resources, not using much gold, and still get a pretty big chunk of CC. This is what Seaton is doing on his account to try to push towards that like 7 or 8 million, whatever he's pushing to. I can't remember. So yeah, if you don't want to use SSR gear, you can definitely use rare gear, which is probably better because, you know, you don't have to grind as much. You don't have to, because getting an SSR piece is sometimes very, very annoying. But as you can see, almost all of my units have at least 1 star awakened on all of their HP pieces, because it just gives you a pretty big amount of CC. So that is why I do it, for overall CC. And then obviously, like I said, you can 6/6 all of the rare and SR units. You can unlock their passives. That adds up quite a bit, because for every single unit you increase their ultimate level. That's an extra 400 CC. Multiply it 100 units. That'd be 40,000 times 6, 240,000. Right? I think so. Yeah. So 240,000 CC just for 6/6ing. I guess there's not 100 SRs and rares, so I'd have to take that back. There's probably like 20, 30 SR and rares, because there's like 9 rares and I don't know, probably a few more SRs. So, you know, yeah, it does add up over time. So probably maybe like 100,000 box CC actually. But hey, that still helps, especially to the free-to-play player. 100,000 box CC is insane. That's a pretty big jump. That's 2 full maxed out characters basically, without like SA levels basically. So yeah. And I'm trying to think of anything else, but I honestly cannot. But if you guys need any other help or info in the with anything like where to grind or anything, I will gladly drop a link, or you can search it up on my channel, or just ask me a question and I will try to help you. But also, guys, thank you for staying tuned to the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to be doing a giveaway later on today/tomorrow, depending if I can get it out. Hope you guys have an amazing day. I'll let you guys know what that is later on when the video drops. I'll probably be doing the patch notes tonight first, before that other video comes out. But yeah, hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you for 900 subscribers. I'm probably just gonna wait till I hit 1,000 before I actually even do like a big like thank you or anything. But yeah, hope you guys have an amazing day. Peace out, take care, and have a great day.